watching. Today I'll be creating a layout using that sketch that you see there, which I've also pinned to the top corner of this video, using rings, tags, the adventure stars that I embossed in my last video, which I will put a link right here. And I couldn't see where the circle was from, but it is everything I used is linked in the description below. So I'm tracing out my ring, and that will I'm only going to do the outside portion of it since the sketch calls for a circle. And I am using I believe this is the February kit from Hip Kit Club with in this or maybe the January. No, this is the January kit. I love their kits. They have a lot of exclusive stuff, and sometimes you get exclusive paper that matches the other papers in the collection, and I love getting their kits. I also love my Kiwi Lane kits, but I'm one of those girls that gotta have it all. So yeah, or yay, as the paper says. I'm inking my edges with the hickory smoke, and that will get my circles ready. At this point, I don't even know what pictures I'm scrapbooking. I wanted to use the stars, and I already knew what my sketch was, and I knew what my layout was going to look like. I just didn't have a clue what pictures I was going to use. So I'm going to cut out my tag, and right now I'm just cutting out the width of it. I do need a longer one, as you can see in the sketch, so I'll just be cutting out the I don't know what those are called, the banner edges, the fish tails, I guess some other people call it that. Excuse me. So as you can tell, there's a new angle for my camera. My husband was watching one of my videos, and he asked me why I had such a weird angle in my videos. So I said to him, well, it's because I use a regular a camera, I forgot what they're called. You know what I mean, but it was a desktop one, and it doesn't hang over my desk. So he's like, don't they sell them? And I'm like, yeah, but they're like $80. And he's like, just order it. Wow, you don't have to tell this girl twice. So I went out and I ordered it, and I got it yesterday, and I was able to try it out with this layout. So as you can see, I had first traced it out in the middle of the page, and I realized that I needed a longer banner, so I just erased the lines, and you're not going to see them anyway because the circles are going to the title is going to be on top of it. And here I'm tracing the longer one that's going to go behind this the circle. So I just want to take a moment to say thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you can like and subscribe to my channel, I would really appreciate that. I will be doing a 500 subscriber giveaway, and we're almost there. I'm projecting that we should be there by the end of the month. Once I reach 500, I will release a video with the rules of what's got to be done, and one winner will receive a $50 gift card to my Kiwi Lane shop. And I'm excited to see what they're going to buy. Now, this giveaway has nothing to do with Kiwi Lane. This is purely from me, so they are not sponsoring it in any way. So I just wanted to, make that clear. I am just very thankful that I was able to get 500, and now I'm trying to think of what am I going to do for my 1,000 subscribers. If you have any suggestions, leave me a comment about it. So as you saw, I inked my edges, and I'm now trying to figure out what, I'm cutting out my circle, and I'm using Shapes T1, and I'm trying to find the right placement. I wanted to get the word yay to be noticeable up top. And at this point, I'm thinking about what my background's going to be, and I didn't want anything too crazy loud. So I end up doing some mixed media on my background. Now, I know that Kiwi Lane's motto is, basically use what you have, and I'm not telling anyone to buy anything that they don't have. I just happen to have, I've had these Shimmerz for probably 3 years, and I had never really used them. So, you can tell in the containers, most of them are dried up, and they're not supposed to be dried up. So I've been adding water to them, which you'll see shortly. So there are my stars that I heat embossed, which again is something that was in my, I've had in my stash for probably 10 years. This specific color I've had for maybe 4 years. I was on a design team before, and that was part of the, one of my design team kits. And so, yeah. So now I'm just going to do little pencil marks on my background. And I am using Basil's Marshmallow, which is a heavier cardstock. It's really heavy. It's heavier than any of their other papers. So it works great with mixed media. And so as you can see, I'm just going to kind of figure out where everything's going to go. I'm lightly gluing it together so that I can kind of keep everything in one spot and for it not to be moving around. I'm sorry, allergy season is here in New Jersey, and it's starting to become a beast. So I'm using some clear gesso. I'm using a white cardstock, so I didn't see the reason to use a white gesso. I'm just using an old gift card to spread my gesso, and you can use a brush. You can use whatever, one of those sponge brushes thingies, sponge applicator, whatever you'd like. I just think that it's quicker and easier to use an old gift card, and it also gives me a little texture. So as you can see, I'm adding water to my Shimmerz, and I'm not sure what color that is. Like I said, I've had these Shimmerz for years. So I am going to go ahead and drop some paint, and then I'm going to use my the plastic bag technique, and basically that's just a one of the little bags that your embellishments come in, and I'm just gonna squish my paint onto the paper around where I left the pencil marks. And I'm just going to do some paint, some splatters. And then I'm just going to pick some of it up with my paper towel roll. There's only like 1 or 2 pieces of paper. Also, what happens with the gesso is the gesso creates like a barrier so that your paper can't, so that the paint can't soak into your paper. So that's why you can go ahead and pick some up, because it doesn't automatically soak. So if I would have just left it without soaking it up, it would take a little longer to dry and the color is a little darker. So this color was kind of a fail, but I thought it was silver and it looked more like a black, and I believe that was like gunmetal, I think it was called. I was trying to do more of a silver look. Sorry about that. And this one that you see here, that one I believe is called Silver Bells. And although it was lighter and it was more of a silvery color, I did not get the look I was looking for. So I'm just going to continue to add some paint splatters, and and honestly, sometimes these backgrounds don't look like much, and you're probably thinking, oh my god, that looks horrible. But once you start layering your things on it, it definitely does change the look of it, because I mean, most of this is going to be covered up. So the first color I picked out was too red, and I didn't want a red. I wanted more in that orangey tone that the Yay paper has. And I'm going to pull out my metallics, which my friend T gifted me a couple of years ago, and that's by Prima. And I'm going to put a little link to her channel if you are into card making. She also does scrapbook pages, mixed media pages, but she's a really awesome card maker. You can go check her out. So these are really, really metallic. They look so pretty. They have such a nice shimmer to them. So you saw me dab up some of the paint. Now I'm going to do some heating just to dry up my paper, and I am going to cut this part out because it took me a while to dry it. So here's where we're going with this. The stars were a little larger than I wanted, but you know, it is what it is. Those are the ones that I had. I am going to add a little white gesso here just to make this a little lighter, because I felt that it was too dark. And the white gesso kind of serves like a paint, so you'll still see it. It just won't be as loud or as bright or dark. So I'm just going to place everything back down, and I'm going to start adhering everything. And because the gesso is a little gritty, you do want to make sure that you use some wet adhesive. And as you can see, I'm just going to hang this over a tiny bit off my edge and that first circle. And I try to use my art glitter glue, but I haven't used it in a while, and it turns out that the nozzle was clogged, so it's now been fixed. But at that moment, you know, I was recording and I said, well, we can't stop, so I just used my fine line container. Here's our little princess, our little diva in the family. which is who I'm scrapbooking today. And I apologize. My little chihuahua thinks she's the boss around here. Sorry about that. She couldn't get to one of her toys, so she had to make sure I understood that. So here I am placing everything down. I am going to back my photos. These are actually printable paper that came in the kit. We got the PDF and you just print it yourself. And I love that blue color. I think it will look so good with her shirt. So I wanted to use that and incorporate it into the layout. And the blue on her shirt also matches so well with the blue that I used, which is on that yay paper, but for whatever reason, I think you don't even see it anymore because I think I cut it out. So I'm going to ink my edges as you saw, and I'm just going to adhere a fun foam to the one picture. So I am happy with the placement. I'm going to use a little bit of adhesive to glue my two pictures down. And now I'm going to add some wet adhesive so that everything sticks down. And I know it's not going anywhere. Now with these embossed stars, you can do all kinds of you can stamp on it and emboss with a different color. Like once I had, like now at this point, I could have, stamped like a shade, like a background stamp on it and embossed it in probably a different color. You can also do like a, like stripes using some washi tape or some other type of, lightly adhesive tape. So now I'm going to cut my triangles, and this one I struggle. As you can see, there's another piece of paper there. I couldn't think of what paper I wanted to use. None of them looked right. I did cut out a few of these little arrowy things, and I ended up liking how this pink one looked. I like the contrast on it. And from what I can see, this is a crate paper, and it's from one of their newer collections from this year, I believe. La La Love, I think that's the name of the collection. So I end up cutting out 4 of them first, and then I go back and cut the 5th one out. And I think here are my 4. Or rather my 3, and then I'm going to cut another one out. I really enjoy using sketches that are just your typical sketch, and incorporating Kiwi Lane into it. I obviously do look for sketches that would work with it. I don't just pick a random one and then try to figure out. I try to look for stuff that either have the shapes or that look like have layers so that I could use my borders. But it definitely does help when you're in a rut and you can't think of what you want, what you want to do or what you want it to look like. I feel that it definitely does help tremendously. And Kiwi Lane definitely is great for, I call it speed scrapping, when you want to get stuff done and you don't want to have to really think too much about it. I think that Kiwi Lane definitely helps with that. And you can also transport it well. You don't have to worry about carrying a huge heavy machine with you anywhere. So right now they do have a sale going on, and I'm looking up right now to see how long it's for. Give me 1 second. I believe it's for the whole month. It doesn't really say. I think it's for the whole month, or as while supplies last. And it's for $51. And you can either get the Dream Team, which is the Sunnybrook Lane, large brackets, elements, tiny brackets, and Hallmark for $51. Or you can do your own, you can select your own templates, and it has to be in that order. So you'd get a border, a fun border, an accessory, a tiny accessory, and an a la carte. And if I'm not mistaken, you can use the free shipping right now, which is over $50 free shipping. So here I'm pulling this up. I decided that I needed to pop it up to, as like I popped up the other ones. I had stuck it on straight onto my paper, and it just didn't, kind of look weird how it was just like sitting behind everything. So I'm just going to add some fun foam to it, and I'm going to tuck one end under the star and the other top end over it. And I really love how this page came out. We're getting close to the end of our layout. So if you stick to the end, you'll see some close-up pictures, as well as links to other layouts, other videos, and my subscription button. Once you subscribe, make sure you hit the ring button. I do have content twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week, and that's my goal. I have videos that come out on Tuesdays and on Fridays. So my title is going to say Diva, and I am not sure where I got these alpha letters. They almost feel like aluminum foil, just a little thicker, and they're flexible, like they bend. I am going to add a little adhesive to it because they don't seem to stick very well. So you'll see me adding it at the end. And these alphas are an exclusive alphabet set from Hip Kit Club, and it came in the kit. Actually, no, I'm sorry. These are my thickers. Never mind. And they're in that dark bluish color. So I'm naming this one Little Diva. And I'm just going to bring my letters. They don't really stick really well, so I end up adding adhesive to all of them. And I just use my fine line glue bottle to adhere it down. Yep, that one moved. I have really small hands, but for whatever reason, when I'm trying to grab little things like this, I feel like I have fat fingertips. Like I can't grab them right. I don't know, it's weird, but anyway, so there's my title, Little Diva. I'm going to end up typing up, which you don't get to see. I have a We Are Memory Keepers typecast typewriter, and I'm going to type up my title on one sentence on a little tag that I have. that also came in the Hip Kit Club kit. And I'm going to also use some silver. Actually, this is Chrome by Prima. Chrome spray, and it's Shimmerz. And there's my title, which I typed up, and now I'm going to add my date, which I know it was in February of 2019. I just don't know the date. So I put a little heart. And just so in case, I mean, you can see that I have a line right above February 2019. I had too much ink on it. If you take a white gel pen, it almost works like whiteout. You don't even see it. So I just whited out any extra ink spots that I got on it. And I am going to adhere. And it just says Leani is all smiles as usual. I'm going to add a little adhesive. Stick my tag down. And now I'm going to use some of these little stars in the lighter green color. And I'm just going to look to see where I could place them. And I'm going to try to place them near my 3 points that I want to show off, which is, you know, my pictures and my title. So that does create a little triangle there through the pictures and down to the title. I'm going to put my eraser on top of it so that it holds down. And as you can see how easy they peel up, I'm just going to add a little, just tiny bit of adhesive to them, to the Diva. And you're basically at the end of the video. I really appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you think.